Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. have shared the big screen, but it's their time off camera that gets the most attention.
I mean, the private life that is out there isn't what people think. You know what I mean? It's like we keep what's important to us very private, and ain't nobody gonna find out.
It's hard when people make comments on the street about your relationship, or people feel like they know you, and you know, you're 22 years old just trying to figure out your life, and people in magazines say, well, that won't last, or oh, I saw him, you know, making out with this person, or it's difficult. Or you try to have private moments, and there's a guy with a camera, you know, 50 feet away.
People try to infiltrate our lives at times, but they see us walking down the street and getting an ice cream cone, and that's not. We're a little deeper than that. We're a little deeper than 31 flavors.
Do you think in a way that you help each other because you both understand it?
Absolutely. You know, being with another actor has its disadvantages and its great advantages. You know, I can come home and say, I had the worst hair day, and he'll actually understand what that means, where most guys would be, shut up, who cares? You know, so he does understand that to a degree. You know, like last night when I was having trauma because I had nothing to wear today and I didn't know what to wear, and that was a whole horrible thing, so it was drama. It was big drama last night.
And what did he say?
He took this out and said, wear this and be quiet.
He's got good taste.
He has very good taste. He has excellent taste. Clothing and jewelry. He has excellent taste. Another plus of a male actor.
In April 2001, the couple became engaged.
How great of a guy is he? He's so perfect for her. The two of them are such a nice balance, and he's so totally like kind of mellow and kicked back, and she's a little bit more hyper, you know, and fun-loving and gregarious, and they just blend and complement each other perfectly.
They just seem to bring out the best in each other, and they really seem to like their friends and family. They're very family-oriented. They lead a life that I think most people would be surprised. It's almost like what's exotic to them is what's normal to us.
Why do you think it works?
We balance each other out. I'm a little crazy. He's a little saner. You know, he always said I was way too mature and that he was a child, and we sort of met in the middle. I've learned to like comic books and video games. He has a new appreciation for antique books.
That relationship has had a profound effect on her, being calm and taking everything a little bit more lightly. When you get criticized as publicly as she has, it's so helpful to have at least one person who's always in your corner, who you feel is objective, but is supportive as well.
This is someone that I love. This is someone that I enjoy talking about, and I don't want to pretend like it's a secret, and I don't want to pretend like it's something I want to hide. We sort of, I mean, I don't want to say we complete each other because it sounds like, you know, a line from a Jane Choir. But I understand that line now. I understand the importance and the seriousness of that comment, where before it was a really cute catchphrase from a movie. It means something to me now.
Just when every aspect of Sarah's life seemed perfect, she was hit with a bombshell. After 5 seasons and 100 episodes, the producers of Buffy the Vampire Slayer announced that the show was being sold to a higher bidder. Buffy was leaving the WB for UPN.
Surprise! It was about money, and what the main thing was that on the WB they had never had a show go to 5 years before, and licensing agreements and such, it's all very technical, but that's the time generally when the network that airs the show starts paying the producers of the show, in our case 20th Century Fox, a lot more money, and they could not agree on that sum.
Buffy and the WB sort of went hand in hand. We'd sort of made each other, and of course you want to be where you feel like your family is, and it's a very daunting, you know, a very sort of daunting task, and everyone kept saying, well, they'll just, you know, they'll save the UPN now. And you had all those people. It was sort of split 50-50. People either wanted the show to be this huge success and prove that we could save another network, or people were waiting for us to fail. When
you are on a network, in a way, you know, in a business sense, they're kind of like your family. And the fact that they would, that for even a business reason, that they would decide that they didn't want the show, you can't help but feel personally hurt. You can't help but feel like wounded, you know.
I remember it was about 8 in the morning. We were in Australia, and the phones were ringing off the hook, and it was a double whammy day. It was I found out the show moved to UPN, and then I found out that a local radio station gave out our address. So it was one of those, just I didn't know which end was which.
How can they do that?
I don't know. I have no idea. We were We had this beautiful house in Australia, and it was right on the water. And so all these tour boats would go by. In the beginning, you didn't think anything of them. And then as it went on, the tour boats started getting closer and closer to our home as the months went on, to the point where you could actually hear, and you'd hear, and they'd be in all different languages. Oh, Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. And you just see the cameras start coming out, and yeah, don't live on the water. That's what I learned.
Sarah and Freddie were in Australia shooting the movie version of the cartoon Scooby-Doo. They played the fictional couple, Daphne and Fred.
Now, were you even born when the cartoon was on?
Well, it started in the 60s. I mean, it was on when I was...
But I mean, do you remember watching it?
Yeah, I think that's the amazing thing about Scooby-Doo, is that no matter what country you're in, everybody knows Scooby-Doo. Everyone knows Ruh-Roh. Everyone identifies with a dog. It's something that's iconic, not just in America. So it's overwhelming. It's always difficult to take a cartoon character and bring it to the screen, because you're taking what's essentially a flat cartoon character and trying to make it human and give it human qualities. Daphne is known as being the one that always gets kidnapped, the one that can't take care of herself. She's kind of flighty. People forget, I'm not Buffy, I'm Sarah. I act like Buffy, and I can just as easily act like Daphne.
Sarah and Freddie brought a pair of cartoon characters to life in Scooby-Doo. The couple also lent their voices to the animated feature Happily Never After.
And I get to be Cinderella, which is like my dream. I've been, as Freddie said, I've been training my whole life for this role. The princess.
Coming up next on Revealed.
There are times like you want a role so badly and you lose it and you think your life is over.